16th for the Borough Council voting session. I'm not sure if Ms. Vaccaro is going to be here, but if she is, she'll join us late. So second order of business, Pledge of Allegiance led by Ms. Simone.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
We have a few announcements. The first one, the May Borough Council meeting will be held on May 21 and May 22, 2025. Also, the Borough Administrative Offices will be closed for Good Friday, April 18th, 2025. Next, we'll have comments, suggestions, petitions by residents in attendance regarding items not on the agenda. Okay, seeing none.
Oh, no, I was letting you.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You couldn't go without a comment. That's it. We're taking turns. Lisa Kearns, West Biddle Street. On a serious note, I just want to extend my sincere gratitude to the Westchester Police Department and the other first responders who handled a very potentially tragic situation on Sunday on Church Street. As you all probably know, there was apparently a young man who they'd been told could be suicidal, so they went to check on him. And when they did, he allegedly took a gun out and fired it at them. And then for like the next hour ran across the rooftops. And police were able to defuse that situation and get him to come down without another shot being fired. One of the police officers was slightly injured when he fell during the incident. But I think we sometimes forget what those men and women do for us every day to keep us safe. I mean, it was a sunny Sunday afternoon and they were just going for a normal call, and it could have been really tragic. So just my deep gratitude to the Westchester Police Department and our first responders. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Any other comments? Okay, we'll move on to comments by council. I don't believe the mayor is joining us by Zoom. Okay, so just council. We'll start with Ms. Vaccaro.
I apologize for running a bit late tonight. I'm looking forward to this spring. I'm looking forward to all the exciting events coming up. Enjoy the weather. It is getting warmer, I promise. And we're just come on out. Enjoy Westchester.
Thank you. Mr. McGinnis.
Yes, I did have the opportunity to actually visit the scene this past Sunday. I did see the hurt officer, and I'm just very proud of the police department and our first responders, the way they handled the situation. It was done with great courage, and that is a testament to their training. On another note, next month, May 17th is Porch Fest, which is going to be mainly in the 3rd Ward. It's probably one of the most underrated events that we have in Westchester. It's a great time. So hopefully everyone has the opportunity to attend Porch Fest.
Thank you. Mr. Travis.
Yeah, I just wanted to say next week is National Volunteer Week. There's a lot of volunteer opportunities. I imagine some of the folks up here are probably going to talk about some of them. I'm just going to mention that in honor of National Volunteer Week, Safe Harbor's been with us in Chester County for a little bit more than 30 years. They provide emergency housing and food. They are actually having an open house. It's not during volunteer week. It's on May 1st. They're having a breakfast from 8:30 to 10 a.m. Where you can come in and take a tour, meet everybody there. Strongly encourage, if you're not doing anything that Thursday morning at 8:30, to stop by Safe Harbor.
Thank you. Ms. Dorsey.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy. I also would like to echo Lisa Kearns and Mr. McGinnis's gratitude for our police department and first responders on Sunday. I think very often we take for granted what they do for us. And just want to acknowledge their service and commitment to community, particularly on Sunday. Also want to acknowledge the community at large and how we have all come together to support the Chester County Food Bank and the Westchester Food Cupboard with some of the funding that has been pooled for some of our nonprofits and particularly the folks in need in our community, the Westchester community, the restaurant community has also stepped up to help fill that gap so that we can continue to provide food and services to those in need in our community. So I just want to applaud those who stepped up and are helping to fill that gap. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Flynn.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy. Greetings from the sweetest ward in the borough, the 6th Ward. I just want to share a few things for you as we trickle into Easter. I want to tell you how this ward got its name. We have 11 sweet shops in the 6th Ward. Jaramelli, Carlino's, Yori's, Little Debbie's Donuts, Master Baker, Kilwin's, Bakery and Bookstore, The Dog Bakery, which is very important for your furry friends. I'm going to be criticized by my Italian, Doce. Thank you.
Well, it's actually
Doce.
not Italian, and it's like, how does she say it? Like it's like sweet day in like Greek.
Everybody got it. Okay. Great cupcakes. Yeah. La Baguette and Insomnia cookies. So there's 11 on the list. As we get a little closer to Easter, try to support these little stores because we're shop local. And on your way, there's also 5 breweries in the 6th Ward, so you won't go thirsty. So happy Easter, everyone.
Thank you. Ms. Simone.
Well, I'll follow up with something fun in the 6th Ward, and then I'll go serious afterwards, just because of the. So I would like to say that they're underrated business or I guess they didn't get the spotlight. We've had a lot of fanfare with a couple of new restaurants opening in the last couple of months. This particular restaurant didn't quite just open, but it did open up for dinner, and that is Penn's Table. It's been a staple in Westchester for many, many years. Breakfast, lunch, delicious, delicious. Well, now they've got some delicious dinners. And we went there a couple weeks ago. They had a delicious salmon slider sandwich thing that I got. It was really good, and they make a great they made a great Dirty Martini, like one of the better ones that I've had in town. So I highly yes, you do not go thirsty. So I highly recommend you guys check them out for dinner. I'm sure probably everyone in this room, I hope everyone in this room has had them for breakfast or lunch at some point this time, but give them a go for dinner because it's really good, and they did a nice job remodeling and all that good stuff. So that's the fun part. Can I say the serious? Can I do the serious? So the serious one, I do. Okay. All right. Well, just saying to echo, the thanks to the police, but also, I think our social worker can't start soon enough, knowing that, we saw, although they say smaller numbers, but still we saw a double in mental health issues over the last month. And now we see what just happened on Sunday. And, it's good that we've got a social worker coming in to help with the force, but it's also, just another reminder to all of us, be kind. We don't know what people are going through, and you just don't know. And so there's a lot going on in this world right now, and just, be kind. Thanks.
Thank you. Just 2 things. One, I want to thank the Westchester Exchange for their generous gift for the canine armor, which we heard in the public safety meeting. That's fantastic and much appreciated. Also, going to reiterate about the Chester County Food Bank and to support local. Now that some funding is missing, it's more important than ever to shop locally and donate locally. So that's all I have, and we will move on to reports and presentations. I don't believe we have any. We did those last evening, And we'll move on to new business, appointment to fill vacancies on the Westchester Borough Boards, Commissions, and Committees.
Mr. McCoy, I'd like to make a recommendation for the civil service for Jerry Scanlon, for human relations, Joe Opelman, for public arts, Joanne Duraco, Michael Hartman, and Sarah Widmeyer. Planning Commission, Alex Katz. And the Tree Commission, Jennifer Harris and Anna Sechrist.
Excellent. Thank you. We have a
A second.
second.
I second. Yep.
Thank you. Mr. Metric, please call the question.
Ms. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Flynn? Ms. Vaccaro?
Yes.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Mr. Travis?
Yes.
Ms. Shimoni?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy?
Yes. Yeah, I'd just like to say for all those that did come and interview with us, very much appreciated, and encourage you to continue to look for vacancies and join those boards and commissions to see what they do, and hopefully there'll be another opportunity. There's always turnover. So again, appreciate the volunteer time from everyone to participate.
Can I just add something? I want to add that anybody who was not put on one of these committees, it doesn't mean that you cannot attend the meetings. You're welcome to come to the meetings, even if you are not a voting member. And in that way, you would be prepared to fill a vacancy should it arise.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? All right. We'll move on to old business. We have discussion to direct the solicitor to add language to the lease between SEPTA and the Westchester Borough. To reiterate, last evening, we went through this and had made the decision based on conversations we had with all the groups, with a couple members of council, that essentially we're going to go back with the lease that had been taken through with SEPTA, but adding the specific language about in the termination.
Right, so on the screen is the language that was added at the very end of section 3.2. And this, I'll read it. SEPTA will retain the superior right to terminate or amend this lease in the event that it desires to establish regular commuter rail service by SEPTA or a SEPTA-approved third-party commuter service operator in the form of a shuttle on the Westchester branch line between Westchester and Wawa. Borough maintains that it would be most desirable and efficient to amend this lease to allow for both tourist and commuter service to cooperate in a safe and acceptable manner on the Westchester branch line in compliance with all applicable federal and state laws, rules, and regulations. In the event such commuter service comes into existence, the terms of a new lease or amendment to this lease would be negotiated between Borough and SEPTA to allow such service to operate. So that was, I believe, the change that you had discussed to be added to section 3.2. Otherwise, the lease is what was presented at the March timeframe that had been sent to SEPTA and actually approved by their council. And we had received word that they would execute and sign that March lease, we'll call it.
I have a question, because from what Sean said last night, it almost sounded like SEPTA was the one that wanted to say that it was in compliance with all the applicable laws. The way it's written here, so I would have expected that sentence to be added to the first paragraph, not the second, because the second paragraph almost is like if the first paragraph's like SEPTA wants this, and then the second paragraph's like the borough says this. So it almost implies that the borough's saying this more than SEPTA. Am I misinterpreting?
Came through an email as to where that language. Sorry, came through an email as to where that language would be added. So I'll have to go back to see if it was specific as to which paragraph it goes to, but I understand your point. It was exactly where I put it, so.
That's how SEPTA sent it? I mean, if that's how SEPTA sent it, then I just.
Well, it actually, it was, there was actually a different paragraph that was being discussed to add to 3.2 exactly as this is worded there. So, but that concept of in compliance with all applicable federal, state laws, rules and regulations was what SEPTA said that they would support this other section 3.2 change that has similar concept, but with that added. So I can put it where you, I mean, I can move it to the first paragraph. I don't think it matters. I think they just want to be known that if a commuter rail is going to go in, it's going to be done in compliance with all applicable federal, state laws, rules and regulations. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would, if you guys are okay, I would ask that it gets moved to the paragraph that's kind of more receptive directive versus.
I'm fine with that.
So it would just go at the very end of the first paragraph up there in red.
I think, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, any other comments?
And one thing I just want to be clear about. So the first thing on the agenda that you did approve relating to SEPTA last evening, which actually is on your consent, is to ratify the one-year extension. So not knowing what was going to happen after the March meeting and knowing that you had to give SEPTA notice by April 1st if you wanted to exercise your third one-year renewal, that was something that was placed on the consent agenda. But my understanding is that you would like us to go back to SEPTA with this lease, assuming this gets approved, and say, instead of the one-year renewal that we sent you a notice to exercise, we would instead like this to be the lease that you consider for a 15-year term commencing July 1, 2025. Is that correct?
And diligently manage the back and forth as best as we can to stay on top of it so it doesn't take us a year.
Sure. We can do this tomorrow. I mean, I can send this tomorrow with that notice.
Well, I mean, I guess the question is, the
Well-
reason we did the 1 year was because we didn't want to expose ourselves to risk of no lease. So we'll not doing the 1 year and then sending this.
I'm not
back.
saying you're not doing the 1 year. So we're going to couch it in that we did exercise the right. That's all you had to do was send notice. So technically speaking, you have renewed the lease effective July 1 for a 1-year term ending June 30th, 2026. But when we send this over, assuming this is approved, we will indicate that it is the council's preference that you terminate the 1-year extension and instead enter this 15-year lease. And I just want to make sure that was everybody's intention.
All right, that makes
Okay.
sense. Okay. got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes,
any public?
I just have one comment, Mr. McCoy. I just wanted to acknowledge the two groups coming together. I wanted to thank the stakeholders, bringing everyone together. I think that's something that you talked about last week. We've been talking about probably, at least I have, for 5 years. So I was glad to hear that the team up here brokered that and that we came to, an agreement. I think that shows just the willingness to work together and the ability to get things done. So I just want to thank everyone who helped facilitate that.
Any other comments? Public comments?
It's going to be really short.
Hey, Derek, let me tell you something. I was in sales for a long time. You know what my boss said? You already sold the product. Why are you going to try to talk him out of it?
Derek Slifer, Westchester Road. I agree with having the language from a regulatory standpoint being in the first paragraph at the very end. I think that's, from a regulatory side, a good place to put it. That's all I got. Thank you.
You're going to agree too?
For good measure. Jason Levitt, the chair of the rail committee. Just for good measure, I want to thank council for bringing us together. I think you guys made that happen, and I think it was an important moment, and just really proud to see this happen. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Somebody care to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. We approve the document as presented.
I'll
Second.
second. Ooh,
With
what's
the-
a second?
Whoa. With the changes that were compliance with federal law.
Okay, Mr. Mentor, please call the question.
Is there a second?
Second.
There are several.
Ms. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Flynn?
Yes.
Ms. Vaccaro?
Yes.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Mr. Travis?
Yes.
Ms. Shimoni?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy?
Yes. Okay, next we have the consent agenda.
Mr. McCoy, I motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Mr. Metric, please call the question.
Ms. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Flynn?
Yes.
Ms. Vaccaro?
Yes.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Mr. Travis?
Yes.
Ms. Shimoni? Mr. McCoy?
Yes. Is there any other business? Okay, seeing none, we are adjourned at 6:50. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.